Welcome to Norm Macdonald Live. Hey, tonight, the great Nick Swardson is with us. But first, opening remarks with my trusty sidekick, Adam Eget. Hello, Adam.
Morning, Norm.
You're all dressed up.
Yeah, they told me to dress up for Comedy Week.
Explain to the folks what Comedy Week is. You fucking retard. No, can you explain?
Not really. Well, I think on YouTube they have they dedicate the front page all week to comedy, and Jash is a part of that, which we're apparently affiliated with somehow. Not a clue. No, it's a collective, as Sarah Silverman told you yesterday.
Yesterday we did the pre-show for the
I thought that went really well.
Google YouTube.
Yeah. That went really well.
Yeah,
Todd, it was great to see Todd Glass. He was having fun. Everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So listen, man, here's the idea for the opening remarks.
Okay.
As you know, it's the 10th episode of the show.
Technically, sure, yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, we did the pilot, so yeah, this is the 10th episode. Yeah. That's right.
You ever heard the phrase "play along"? So, no, it's the 9th episode.
Yeah.
But we decided to show people, because it's Comedy Week, that's why.
Right.
Some clips of the other episodes we've done to get them ready for Nick.
That sounds great, yeah.
So you want to look at some clips?
Of course.
Okay. Well, this is kind of a historic thing. This is the first question that you ever asked anyone on the first podcast that we ever did.
Oh, with Super Dave.
With Super Dave Osborne.
Oh, yeah.
Your first question.
Norm told me to come up with some questions for you, and I've just been dying to know, where do you get your ideas from? Well, I mean... we have some news stories. Yeah, it didn't go well.
I know. Super Dave fell into a deep depression from your first question. But we've had a lot of different times on the show. Hey, what about that time I got all political? Remember?
Of course.
And I started talking about the Falkland Islands and everything? Because remember when I used to eat like a big fat pig?
Yes, I recall.
And then I decided to make a political stand. You know what I mean? Because I want to be an important comic. So I decided to make a political stand. Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that.
Well, let's take a look. This is my promise
to
the people of the video podcast network world. I will not eat a single morsel of food until Margaret Thatcher is dead and buried.
She died 3 weeks ago. I'll be right back with Larry King.
That was a funny thing.
Yeah. It's like every lunch with you.
I know, I eat a lot of food, but I didn't drink the gravy that time.
Yeah, that's the only time I haven't seen you drink gravy, which is odd.
Yeah, well, I think it's unseemly on camera to drink a fucking ladle of gravy. Listen, you fans of Fred Stoller get to see many sides of the hilarious hangdog funny man. I don't know, that was so Steve wrote this. But here's a clip. The thing is, Robert Blake was supposed to be on the show, and I was all excited, and then we fucking had to get Fred Stoller.
Yeah.
God damn, that was a depressing day. Because Robert Blake was supposed to come in, and then Daniel Kellison talks to him on the phone for an hour, and he fucking won't show up.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Here's Fred Stoller filling it.
Because of droughts all over Europe, scientists are predicting a global shortage of olive oil. Soon the world will know how Popeye felt after the death of his wife.
Olive oil. Remember how fucking skinny and ugly she is, and they'd always want to fuck her?
And how Big Ethel would chase Jughead.
Oh, let's not get into Jughead.
I'm sorry.
Well, next time that you come on, I'll have read the book, because I spent all my time reading a superior book.
Is that a real book or
It's
a
a real
bit?
book. Look.
I thought it was a bit for the show.
No.
It's actually riveting. I've read a couple.
It's a fantastic book. This guy's amazing.
But
I haven't read your book, so I can't, in all truthfulness, say this is a superior book, but I strongly suspect it is. Were you in New York when the Twin Towers fell?
No, I was in Los Angeles.
Well, either way, it was a national tragedy. It was.
Yeah, I know.
9/11. We're going to go to hell.
Yeah, there's a good possibility.
Hey, the great Kevin Nealon was on the show. Who's funnier than Kevin?
I can't think of anyone. Well, Nick Swardson.
Well, I don't know.
I love Kevin. No, Kevin's
Kevin's
the best.
been around forever.
Oh, he's hilarious.
He's kind of a hero of Nick. Okay, so here's it was mid-May of 2013. America was dancing to the music of Justin Bieber and Beyonce, and they were laughing at the story of a comic by the name of Kevin Nealon.
Let's take a look.
Well, no, you don't say
So
that.
I'm a guest on there, and now it's time to introduce the next guest. And she says, okay, this next guy coming out, he's a great actor. He was in Risky Business. He's done all kinds of stuff. I just love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Pantaleone. And he comes out, and as he's walking across the stage toward the desk, she goes, oh, I know who he is.
I fucked it all up by reading Steve O'Donnell's because we had to say it was Roseanne.
Oh, right. We had to mention. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we cut this very recently. Everything's always down to the wire
That was the
here.
Roseanne talk show.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories that we've heard in the last 9 episodes since we started.
No, he's hilarious, man. I mean, he's right up there with Nick Swardson, like tied for funniest dude. Guy has to make a fucking competition out of it. Anyways, hey, you ever wonder where, like, I always like saying phrases.
Yeah, you definitely do.
That make me sound smart, like Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, taking joy in other people's pain or misery.
Yeah. Zeitgeist. You ever hear that term?
Yes.
Because it makes you sound smart.
Yeah.
Post-sasso. Have you ever heard that term?
I feel like I've heard it once before.
Because I said it once on the term.
Yeah.
It suddenly came up that I could use the term post-sasso.
It's taken the nation by storm since then.
Check this out.
It was like after a lot of those, I think after Will Sasso and some of those people left.
Post-sasso. But here, the great Billy Bob Thornton. Remember how excited we were to have Billy Bob Thornton?
He was so engaging.
Okay, Billy Bob Thornton having a little discussion with us. And then it turned somehow to serial killers. Let's check this out.
It usually does.
And you wouldn't want to get like a guy like Jeffrey Dahmer or something like that. I mean, you wouldn't want anybody who might eat you at lunchtime, you know, but that was his name, right? Jeffrey Dahmer?
Absolutely.
Yeah, got killed by a broomstick raped to death.
Really? That's
They say it's one of the worst ways to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. On the list of the 1,000 ones. Yeah,
They say drowning is very peaceful.
right.
Broomstick rape.
Not good. Yeah.
Both funny and true.
How cool is that guy?
He's the best, man.
Hey, speaking of which, man, what about Larry King?
I love Larry.
But how is that speaking of which?
Yeah, that doesn't really apply there. No.
But Larry King, it was great to have him on the show because he brightens the mood. You know? Check this out.
That's the one thing I fear is dying.
Me, man. That haunts me.
Because the thought of not existing, you know, it's like, you know what the new thing they call it is? Dirt nap.
Good God, Larry.
That's what they call it, a dirt nap.
You would not say that on Hulu.
No, I wouldn't say it, but I'd say it here.
That's what I loved about the Larry King episode. You got to see him out of his element and something, you know?
Well, he's on Hulu, which is a
Right.
cool thing.
Oh, Hulu's the best. I watch it every day.
Yeah. Is it better than Nick Swardson?
I mean, I like Nick.
Hey, it's always fun when a celebrity calls in to the show.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He's just
Yes.
at home watching the show somehow. How he found the show, who knows? But he found the show somehow, and he calls in. And who can forget the time Super Dave called in when Kevin Nealon was the guest?
Yep.
Check this out.
Thanks so much for calling in, Super Dave. Please come back.
I didn't call in, asshole. I didn't call in. You called me, and let me tell you something. Why don't you get something that is semi-professional? You're a bunch of asswipes. Right now I'm getting on a bus, and I'm going to scream out the window, and I'll reach 20 more people than you did tonight. Don't ever try to get a hold of me. I will never do this show again as long as I live.